What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the non-spoiler review of the Fantastic Four. This is the newest in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. This one is directed by Matt Shakman. Contrary to belief, I know a lot of you thought Adam Shankman directed this. He did not. It was Matt Shakman. I don't know how you could have missed it, but he did WandaVision. He did a good job with WandaVision, and I don't know why you guys would think that it was anyone but Matt Shakman, not Rock of Ages Adam Shankman. So that's cleared up now. Now you know, and that's fine. People make mistakes. You're okay. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Bachrach, Julia Garner, and Ralph Ineson as Galactus. A lot of other people show up in this, whether it's Natasha Lyonne, Paul Walter Hauser. The list goes on and on. So I gave my out of the theater reaction. So if you are here, you haven't seen that yet, I'll give you my overall thoughts, which was that I was surprised with how much I liked this movie. I have never really been a massive Fantastic Four fan. I didn't really like the trailers too much, and I was not that excited for it. The last trailer I thought was interesting. It got me a little bit more interested in it. So I was like, okay, let's see. And essentially the story is that we don't take, this is not the timeline of the MCU that a lot of you are familiar with, you know, from where Tony Stark and everybody led up to Earth 616, I think it's called. If I get it wrong, you can yell at me in the comments. It's fine. But this is separate. And I think it's very smart. They're also established in this universe. Like, it's very similar to what Superman did. They throw you into it and say, look, here's a little brief thing. They've been around for about 4 years. They've had their powers for about 4 years. This is what happened. They show a little thing and say, this is where we are. Everybody loves the Fantastic Four. They've saved us so many different times. They set up kind of that comic book world, and then a new threat comes in. And I like that they did that because it also sets it apart and lets people know who have never seen a Marvel movie. It says it feels like the beginning of these are the new characters that we're going to start following. They're going to lead into another bigger event, but these are the ones we want you to get invested in. And they do a very good job in doing that. The kind of retro, it's like the 60s, but in a different universe, that Jetson feel. And again, Matt Shakman does an excellent job directing this movie and putting together the team, making you care about the team itself, and setting the visuals in this movie are really fantastic. Oh, I didn't mean to say it, but I did. I'm sure a lot of people have been doing that. They're really stunning. And I think that you should definitely see it in IMAX if you haven't already. You've seen so many of these movies, 30 plus Marvel movies. You're like, well, what can you do to make it seem different? And they accomplish that, at least in my opinion. I think that as I was watching this whole thing and you see the interstellar, comparisons, I understand it. What's happening in space and the things that they do in space, that's why I keep saying see it in IMAX. It's just so grand. But what I liked about it also is that it didn't just rely on the movie being grand and being visuals. And I don't feel like, because I said to myself, I was like, okay, visuals, everyone's talking about visuals, but is that all this thing has? It doesn't. It's I care about the dynamic between the four characters. Johnny Storm, people are going to be worried about, and I was a little worried about it too, that they were kind of going to make some changes to Johnny Storm to not offend people. And they don't really. Joseph Quinn does a great job as Johnny Storm. They could explore more stuff. They make it clear that he likes women. He does these things, and he's doing it to impress women. Even if it gets like kind of a crush on somebody. I'll say that inside of this movie, and they play on that. But we'll see more of him as it expands, because I thought, are they going to make him kind of one note? No, and they give him more to do. There was an arc, and the same thing goes for Eben Moss-Bachrach, who plays Ben, and they, of course, explore the thing and what he had to go to. He's the one out of the four. Everybody else still gets to look like them, but he is still. You can see the sadness. He does a great job, and the back and forth that both Eben Moss-Bachrach and Joseph Quinn have works a lot. But the Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, Reed Richards dynamic is really what it's all about. Because as this is the first family of Marvel, you have to believe that they're this couple. From everything that I knew about Reed Richards, it seems like Pedro Pascal really nailed it, right? And he's so focused and he's so smart. He's so burdened by the knowledge of things, and he lets a lot of these things get in the way. And it's usually Sue who's like, come back and be a human being. and be here for this, and the dynamic of what is happening with all of them, and then the threat that comes in, of course, which is Galactus. And I thought that Galactus, who's played by Ralph Ineson, is terrifying. I thought terrifying. That also could have looked very silly, and you've seen it in the trailer, the way he comes in, and there is this just imposing thing, and what Galactus's ultimate mission is plays into the dilemma and choices that have to be made by the Fantastic Four, by all of Earth. They are the protectors. They are the Avengers of this world, if you will, and they have to protect it in the dilemmas that they wind up getting themselves in, and even amongst each other. And I thought that what Julie Garner did as this Silver Surfer, we know we're going to see a bunch of different Silver Surfers. So people who get up in arms about not seeing the original one, I would wait, because it seems like there's going to be more. But I thought for what they set up and how they set this character up, even in that trailer that you see her when she comes in, she tells everybody, hey, look, you guys are in trouble. And then diving a little bit more into deep as far as like why she is doing what she's doing. So and the music, Michael Giacchino does a just fantastic job. I did it again. It's a phenomenal job of setting the tone of what they're going for. Even when they're in space, you can feel that interstellar type of feel when they're out there. There's a really great scene in, I believe it's Act 2. I loved Act 1. Really liked Act 2. And that's where that cool scene that I really like came in. And then Act 3 just kind of soars for me. But I was the most invested. I was invested in Thunderbolts. They're different, and people are going to ask me, would you like better this or Thunderbolts? I need to see them both again, because this is what Thunderbolts was a different movie because it really dove deep into those characters, and the mental health issue of it, and went more into this kind of a darker thing, which I dug. But this is more the world building here and making me interested again in newer characters. And by newer, I mean inside of the MCU, newer characters that we're going to invest in. And it's the first time in a bit, minus like the post-credit scenes in Thunderbolts, where I'm going, all right, I want to see where all this is going now. And now I'm invested. I got new players that I'm following, and I feel like there's a bit of a charge. And I didn't know if I was going to get that going into it. So I was pretty blown away by this one, because I never took my eyes off it. My attention was locked in. I cared. There's some really great moments. Obviously, you see in the trailer, and even says as much in Vanessa Kirby, who is excellent as Sue Storm. She talked about the fact that Sue is pregnant, what she has to deal with, how, obviously having her child with Reed, what the implications are. For those of you who are Marvel fans, the deal with Franklin and everything that he is, but it is this is also why I mentioned earlier the setup of saying, hey, we're locked into this already, because I'm telling you, I think people are really going to respond to the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie, and that's really important. It's like, okay, can you lock me in? Can you make me care? And I think they do a really great job of this. Matt Shakman, who directs this film, if you didn't know that, he is, to me, really gets this world. He understands how to lock you in with visuals, but he also understands how to really get you with the characters, because they needed to make this work. Now, a lot of people are saying that were the hardcore fans of Fantastic Four. I heard it in the audience last night when I was there. I heard it. I've read it with people talking about it and saying how much it really pulls from the 60s comics and Kirby's Red and all that stuff. So it captures that, and you can tell that this is the version that Marvel, when they didn't have the rights to this is what they always wanted to do. And it's the first time. This isn't saying much, but this is hands down the best Fantastic Four movie ever made. The question is, what are they going to do with these characters moving forward now that they are set up? Because they're set up. We'll go into a spoiler. We'll go into a spoiler later on a different review, obviously. But this, to me, and stay for post-credit scenes. Stay for the post-credit scenes. There's two of them. One is impactful. The other one's fun. I'll tell you that. So go in knowing that. But performances worked. I think that I want to see a little bit more development in some of the characters moving forward, but I think there's a great setup there. Music was great. Act 1 really worked. Act 2 was good. Act 3 soars. So overall, I'm going pretty big. I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5 for Fantastic Four. And I think one of those reasons is because it shocked me so much. I wasn't expecting to love this movie. I was expecting to say, okay, maybe I'll dig it. Maybe I'll dig it. I loved it. And I thought that it just, this was one, there was a few movies that I've seen. I'm like, okay, I could be okay just seeing this once or maybe seeing it on streaming again. I want to see this in the theater again. It was a great experience watching it in IMAX. Sound is great. So that's my thoughts. That's my non-spoiler for the Fantastic Four. Do you want to see it? Do you care? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. We just crossed 201,000 subscribers on this channel. We're trying to build. If you're brand new here, hit that button. We do out of the theater reactions. We do movie reviews. We do movie reactions. We do interviews. We do a live show every single day. We're going to be live in person in New York, Green Room 42. Going to be at the it is August 9th. So come and check us out. The links are in the description. You want to check that out. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye. Into Cloud. It feels like you're breaking the rules, but it's totally legal and better for you than that third cocktail. You work hard, maybe. You deal with life sometimes, but do you still deserve an escape? Absolutely you do. That's where Into Cloud comes in. They got gummies, they have flowers, they have pre-rolls, all federally legal, seriously fun, and just a few clicks away. Whether you're chasing better sleep, deeper intimacy, or just solid daytime relief, this is grown-up cloud chasing done right. So if you're 21 or older, head to indocloud.ca. You guys know, I'm always on the hunt for new gummies. And so Into Cloud sent me some, and their flavors are incredible. I like it. I like that there's no hangover afterwards. I know there's no sketchy ingredients, just good energy, a solid buzz. And I just felt good. That's the whole thing. So it sounds like a loophole, right? It's not. It's science. It's policy, and Into Cloud is using it to deliver one of the oldest medicines known to man in the modern, fun, and absolutely dialed-in way possible. Over 50,000 people are already choosing Into Cloud because feeling good should feel this easy. So if you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress because Into Cloud is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus free shipping. Use that code Kristian or click the link in the show notes to claim your discount. That is indocloud.co, indacloud.co. Use that code Kristian for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. Order now. Fill out their quick survey to support the show and enjoy the best part of your week. Brought to you by Into Cloud. Oh man, I'm so glad to finally talk to you guys about Cash App. I've been using Cash App forever, and now I get to talk to you guys about it. Don't worry, it's very easy, fast to sign up. Do you even know how much interest your money is earning you in your bank account right now? Well, let me tell you some stuff. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn up to 4% annual interest on your savings. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements. Also, you can hit your saving goals even faster by turning on the Roundups feature on your Cash App card. With Roundups, every purchase you make using the card is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that spare change is automatically put into your savings. Don't let your money sit around and gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of high interest savings on Cash App today. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code and earn some additional cash. For real, just download the Cash App, use our exclusive referral code Kristian in your profile, send $5 to a friend. Within 14 days, you're going to get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure.